close. Here we go. That's a body.
What was that?
In December 2022, Johnny Paranormal explored Japan's well-known Aokigahara forest, where he unexpectedly came across something disturbing that stayed with him long after the trip.
Forest. It's words can't describe it. And when you're walking around on the roads and stuff like that, and the sun's shining, it feels okay. But as soon as you look into this forest, wow, it's just dark. And I'm not saying that, you know, for any other reason, but that's reality of this place. It just has a real, I wouldn't say like, you know, ghostly feel to it or anything, but it has like a bad vibe.
It's close. Here we go. That's a body.
At first, Johnny thought it was just a random pile of clothes, but when he looked closer, he realized the body underneath had decomposed, leaving only a skeleton. The fragile, pale skull was lying a few inches away, likely separated from the rest of the remains after the bones became too brittle and shifted over time.
Far out, man. Been here a long time. Head come off. I had a feeling about this area, that's why I wanted to come in here. So, alright, oh, just found a body. That's why you've got to be so thorough in your searching team. Body's been, it might be I think it's a woman. I think it's a girl. I don't know. Coming in. Just shoot up the tree. There's the moose. Must have been a, I don't know, this is weird. Alright, and I stupidly didn't buy any ribbons, so there you go. I don't know, from those shoes, it's a woman's herself. Oh. Oh, that's why I'm here.
The discovery was a chilling reminder of why Aokigahara has such a dark reputation, and why even seasoned explorers enter the sea of trees with caution and unease. Beneath the forest's natural beauty lies a tragic reality that takes lives year after year. Johnny later reported what he found to the authorities, but the image of that lifeless figure on the forest floor stayed with him long after he left the forest behind. Dee's Dark Adventures is a channel focused on exploring locations linked to fear, mystery, and unexplained activity. Like many paranormal investigators, Dee often spends long nights where nothing unusual happens. That's usually the reality of this type of work. But during one investigation, she may have captured something strange without realizing it.
All right, my loves. This video was almost scrapped. I was here from about 6 o'clock to about 11:30. I went from this location to the roundabout location and back. And this is where I just kept recording and had no clue what was about to happen. I went home and Sam wanted to see the footage because she loved my neighbor, Sam, my friend. She wanted to see if she could see anything, because I told her it was a dud video. And I had no clue because I hadn't looked at the footage yet. I had just recorded and not seen anything. I just had not heard much, but some clickies and some stick breaks, and thought it was maybe good enough for a short. But here we go.
Dee went back to an abandoned farm where she had been experiencing strange activity for several weeks. While she stayed focused on her surroundings, her camera captured something she hadn't noticed at the time.
What was that? These lights in my face are horrible. Oh, God, guys. It's quiet, quiet. It is a little warmer than last night, or last time. Last night was cold. Nothing happened either. I've been coming out here, and maybe 2, 3 times out of 5 or 6, I'll hear and catch stuff.
Something nearby was clearly moving, and the disturbing part was how close it was without her noticing. Being on an investigation while unknowingly sharing the area with something unseen is a situation most people would never want to face.
I'm hearing movement. I don't like it. See? What is that? It sounds like cracking, not stick cracking, like bones cracking. What is that down at the end? Look like something white way down at the way at the end where the entrance goes left and right. That's what it looks like up there, but I can't tell what that is, and I don't want to go look. It might be grass. What was that? That sounds like clicking. No. Oh, clicking. I can't make it down there. I'm gonna have to. I'm moving. I'm gonna go to a different spot.
Later in the investigation, Dee chose to explore the property more deeply, and that decision seemed to change the atmosphere noticeably.
Nah, this is uphill. What was that? Fellas, I'm really trying to give you guys videos out here, but this place is to the core. But I'm fascinated with it at the same time. I'm hearing noises, dude. And I don't know if it's clicking. I can't hear it. It's like a low.
The movement in the forest had now reached her car. That was a serious concern since it was her only way to leave, and it seemed like something was lingering near it. The thought that her way out might not be clear made the situation much more tense.
Oh, it's by my car. Oh my God, dude. Why is my thing going faint? Stop. Okay, I'm gonna get in my car and I'm gonna go. What is that? that? Stop. Okay. Calm down. Fine, I'm fine. Is that clicking? It sounds like clicking, but it's so low. I don't want to be far away from my car. Hello. Hi. Okay. Guys, I'm getting out of here. I feel like I'm being surrounded. Sorry for screaming at you.
Even after searching carefully, Dee couldn't figure out where the sounds were coming from. They didn't stay in one spot and instead seemed to move around her, almost like something was circling. When she finally decided to leave, the noises followed her all the way back to her car. What she experienced that night is still unknown. Some viewers think it could have been a crawler, while others believe there may have been more than one creature. It's also possible there's a normal explanation that hasn't been discovered yet. Whatever it was, the experience clearly stayed with her. Jer Bear, the creator behind the YouTube channel Exploring with Bear, is known for traveling to remote and unsettling places where most people wouldn't normally camp. In his videos, he explores rumored haunted areas and isolated wilderness trails while searching for creatures such as Bigfoot and other cryptids. On the cold night of February 26, 2025, he headed deep into the forest to camp and, hopefully, capture evidence of something unusual.
This adventure, I brought you to Shadow Figure Forest, where we're going to continue our search for Bigfoot, my boy. And look, right behind me, this wasn't cut down. Look at that, snap.
Right from the start, Jer Bear noticed strange signs suggesting something had passed through the area. Several trees were broken and bent in unusual ways, as if a powerful force had twisted them. The forest looked disturbed, almost like something unseen had recently moved through it. Despite this, he kept going, determined to figure out what had caused it.
Oh, there it is. All right, right back there, first nest.
Before long, he started hearing footsteps in the distance, along with strange sounds and quick flashes of movement in the darkness. The activity seemed to increase until even the shadows felt like they were moving. That's when a frightening realization hit him. He wasn't alone out there.
I thought I just seen movement over there again, like behind that teepee. I just got the freaking chills, man. Oh, my whole body's chilling. Right in there, I swore I seen something move back in there and over there.
Bear couldn't get rid of the strong feeling that something was watching him from the dark. Wanting to know for sure, he decided to test the darkness, hoping to confirm what his instincts were already telling him. But the moment he did, he realized the truth was impossible to ignore.
It answered. It wasn't my whistle, it was a different one. I know you guys heard that.
Bear kept moving forward and eventually found a place to set up camp. But almost as soon as he settled in, a strong feeling of unease started to creep in.
Get my lighter out of my pocket. Camera was down on that. I seen something move right back there. Oh my goodness. This is crazy. chill here and see what we can't hear and see. Oh, I just seen red eyes. I swear I seen just red eyes.
Realizing the signs were too obvious to ignore, Bear took out his homemade tree knocker. The strange sounds and movements around him made it clear that something was nearby and watching. Each time he struck the trees, the forest would go silent before something shifted in the distance. Knowing things were getting too intense, he decided to leave, but as he walked out, branches snapped and footsteps moved behind him. Frightened, Bear grabbed his camera and ran, trying to escape whatever was following him in the dark. The question remains, what was really out there that night? In late 2020, Corey from the YouTube channel Abandoned Boys visited the infamous Witches Trail for a nighttime exploration with his daughter, known as Alpha Daughter. The trail had gained a dark reputation over the years due to reports of strange events and unexplained experiences. Despite its history, Corey chose the filming location with his daughter. At first, the night felt calm and quiet, and everything seemed perfect for recording as they walked deeper along the trail, unaware of how quickly their peaceful outing was about to change.
Just doing a late night. It's so nice out of. What was that? Is that a...
Yes, Dad.
Suddenly, a loud crack rang out in the darkness. A gunshot. The sound was clear and uncomfortably close. Corey's attitude changed instantly from relaxed exploring to protective father, and he quickly decided to end the investigation.
Trail is not to be messed with. Yeah, somebody just gave us a mental note. Wait, I gotta get this full moon though. Yeah, I just heard a gunshot.
As they started heading back toward the exit, another gunshot suddenly echoed through the area.
Is that a...
Dad, that's
Really?
yeah.
You sure?
I'm positive.
Lights. Lights. Somebody out here.
Whoever was firing the gun wasn't just shooting once as a warning. Multiple shots followed, making the message clear. They needed to leave immediately.
We just came here to film, but we just heard shots.
Yeah, and we know.
And I'm not gonna risk her life.
Or yours, Dad. Or yours.
So we gonna make our way out. But yeah,
That's it. Not today.
somebody. So they either telling us not we shouldn't be here, but yeah, we gonna go ahead and get out of here.
You gotta tell us twice. As soon as we want.
Yeah, somebody's really. You hear that?
Yeah, I hear people now. Yeah.
Yeah, we getting out of here, everybody.
New place?
I hear dogs.
Yeah, it's time to go.
Yeah, we making our way out of here. I got my daughter with me. I'm seeing stuff like people or something running or something. Yeah, we getting out of here.
As they kept moving, Corey spotted something unusual in the distance, a light or small fire deep in the woods. It hadn't been there when they first arrived, making it clear that someone else was out there with them.
Witch's Trail, see? Light. See, it's somebody over there. See that fire over there? YouTube, y'all see that? Somebody's out here.
I see
Looks
that
like a
fire.
fire. Here, let me zoom in. That's the moon? Can't be the moon. I don't know what that is. It looks like the moon. That fire, why is the fire looking like the moon? Why is the frogs changed their tune? What is going on out here, y'all? Y'all see that in the distance? It's a light out there, but every time I pull up on it, it's the moon, but the moon's over there. Yeah, let's get out of here.
See why it's called the Witch's Trail.
Yeah, the Witch's Trail never fails, everybody. Never fails. Here you go, my friend.
Okay.
Yeah, we are.
Corey and his daughter hurried along the trail, trying not to make noise. He stayed alert the entire time, carefully watching the surroundings and ready to step in if anything happened. Eventually, they managed to reach safety. The situation lasted less than 10 minutes, but it was enough to ensure they would never return. Later, Corey admitted that bringing his daughter with him had been the wrong decision.
Thank my daughter for coming out. Much love, much respect. Appreciate you coming with me on this journey. I'm sorry we had to leave early but it's not worth it.
The witch's trail turned out to be far more dangerous and unpredictable than expected. Some places simply aren't worth the risk, no matter how good the footage could be. The person who fired the gun was never identified. It could have been another explorer, a landowner trying to scare people away, or someone with more troubling intentions. The mystery remains. In this encounter, the host of the 401 Files YouTube channel heads into an English woodland to investigate strange activity as daylight fades. From the moment he enters, the forest feels off. Even his dog Lily acts uneasy, moving cautiously through the trees. The woods in North Yorkshire are known for old legends and strange sightings, and as he walks deeper, he notices an unsettling silence. No birds, no insects, no wind, just complete quiet surrounding them.
Forest just seems very devoid of life. I mean, I know it's winter, or the back end of winter, so times have been hard for the birds and stuff, but you'd expect to at least hear one bird or some kind of wildlife. There's nothing. So I recently watched Dog Soldiers for the very first time. Now, there's going to be a lot of people here on the channel throwing things at the TV right now saying, how did you make it this far into life without ever seeing Dog Soldiers? Especially given the things that I talk about. But no, I did. About a week or two ago, I thought I'll sit down and I'll watch Dog Soldiers. It was really entertaining. I liked it. Yeah, I'm starting to seek out these things that people keep talking about, because a lot of the time I don't really have the time to watch these things, but with it being the festive season and over the Christmas period, once the kids were in bed, I thought I'm going to watch this. And now standing here in this woods, you're right, a lot of you over the years that have commented saying you wouldn't be in those woods if you'd seen Dog Soldiers. Well, I would, but it's definitely giving it a new feel.
As night approaches, the unease grows stronger. He follows a method he learned in the military, letting his senses adjust naturally as daylight fades instead of using bright lights. Before continuing, he prepares his equipment, including an EMF meter to detect unusual energy. But as he explains this, something goes wrong. His equipment starts malfunctioning, the screen glitches, and his phone begins acting strangely, even though it's fully charged. It almost seems like the forest is reacting to what he's doing.
My plan, or the intention for today's video, is to wait for nightfall, get myself backed up into a corner somewhere in this woodland, and bring out the EMF reader for a little bit, have a play around with that, and openly ask some questions to any energies, any entities, or anything else that we're unaware of here right now with us, and see if we get a response. A lot of people might laugh at that. A lot of people might think, oh, you're just talking a load of hocus pocus, stupid stuff, but the results say otherwise. And that, along with many other people's first-hand accounts, leads me to believe that there are things that we can't see, there are things that we are living amongst, that we can't just explain what just happened. Just as I said that, the screen's gone all weird. I'm not sure if that's showing up on the actual recording, but where I'm looking at myself on the screen now, half of the screen has just gone completely pale white.
When his GoPro refuses to turn on and Lily becomes more and more restless, things take a turn when she suddenly disappears into the darkness and doesn't return for an hour. Left alone with a malfunctioning gear, he decides to leave the forest. But 2 days later, on Friday the 13th, he comes back to continue the investigation. He heads toward a nearby riverbank, thinking it could be a path used by animals or something moving through the woods. Suddenly, his flashlight dies, leaving him in total darkness, and he slips down an embankment. Disoriented, he realizes how vulnerable he is with only limited visibility. Then, distant howling starts echoing through the forest. After watching the footage later, he believes the sounds weren't just dogs.
Sorry guys, I was going off on a bit of a tangent there, but I feel like some of what I spoke about just then was necessary. I'm getting some noises coming off in the distance now. I'm not sure whether keeping the light on is a good idea or a bad idea.
I guess that's a good question. Would anything be curious of the light, or would it stay well away from the light? Who knows how these things work? Like, who knows? What the hell is that? It's okay, Lily. It's okay. That is at some distance, but... Lily. Lily, come. Lily.
With Lily clearly scared and his own nerves pushed to the limit, he decides to leave. He tells viewers that nothing in the video is staged and that everything happened exactly as it unfolded. There's no clear proof of what was out there, but the strange silence, malfunctioning equipment, distant howls, and the feeling of being watched made it clear that something was nearby, hidden in the darkness beyond his flashlight. Brothers Wild is a YouTube channel focused on quiet exploration, campfires, and overnight stays in remote places. On February 24th, 2024, the creators Rich and Ash planned to camp near the ruins of the old Bersham Ironworks, a place with a long history tied to industry and hardship. What started as a calm trip slowly began to feel different as the atmosphere of the forest grew heavier. They arrived during the day, with a river flowing nearby and the old ironworks adding a quiet, uneasy feeling to the area. As they went deeper into the woods and set up camp, the place began to feel more isolated and exposed.
At the moment, I'm feeling fairly calm. A little bit eerie, but yeah. We heard some whistling earlier on, no one was around. Maybe someone was whistling a dog walker, it could have been. But yeah, apart from that, nothing. But the last time we were up here, I heard somebody behind me walking. When I turned round, nobody was there. So we've come back here in hope to do a reading later on and try and make contact with anyone, or any lost soul or energy, whatever you want to believe it is.
As darkness falls over the ironworks, the atmosphere begins to feel heavier. The calm doesn't last long before an unexplained sound breaks through the woods, quickly changing the mood from peaceful to tense.
Yeah, we're just starting to get the fire going now as well. What was that?
That wasn't me.
Did you hear something?
Yeah, there's something high.
We're just starting to get the fire going now as well. There's no one around.
That was weird.
That was really loud.
Yeah, there's nobody.
What the hell?
The sound feels unusual, and as night settles in, the feeling of being watched starts to grow. They take their paranormal equipment away from the camp and set it up carefully among the roots and fallen branches.
Right, put the reader there. I'm going to put a gap ball in there, so it definitely can't move. I'm going to put one... Ooh, can we stick one in here? Yeah, there we go. One there, so it can't move. And I'll put another one just over here. Now, is it going to roll? It's going to roll. I'll put it there by that tree.
They set up their devices, lower the lights, and the forest grows even quieter.
Let me just get my other torch on, Rich. What was that? Oh my God! Did you hear that? You heard that, right?
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yeah,
that was
definitely.
loud. I'm trying not to freak out now.
Fuck's that?
That sounds like screaming and
moaning, yeah. What?
And I hear a humming. I hear a humming.
Soon after, faint sounds start to appear in the distance. They are unclear at first, but slowly become more noticeable, giving the sense that something unseen might be moving closer.
Wow, what is that? Can you turn me lights off for a minute? Be very quiet, Rich. It sounds like something bloody satanic. Shh, just be quiet, Rich. Be quiet a minute, mate.
Even though they couldn't tell where the sounds were coming from, they continued deeper into the woods. Soon, they noticed unusual activity near a bridge and waterfall that felt strange and almost ritual-like. The scene made them uneasy, and they quickly decided to leave.
There's people below this bridge. What the hell is this? Be quiet, be quiet, be quiet, yeah? Don't get seen. Don't get seen, don't get seen. Some sort of ritual things going on right now. They got people in the waterfall naked. They're naked. Oh my god. Right, let's go. Let's get out of here, mate. Oh my god. That is not normal, guys. We're getting out of here. They're all naked, swimming in the waterfall, chanting. That is weird. That's witchcraft stuff. Let's get out of here.
Their instincts take over, and they realize it's time to leave. Back at camp, they try one last reading before packing up. Suddenly, the devices react strongly, as if something had followed them back and was making its presence known.
Are you there? Whoa! Okay. Okay. Oh, you don't want us to leave tonight. You don't want us to leave tonight. Okay, go red. Please go red. That was crazy. Oh. Just as I was gonna turn the camera off. I was just about to turn the camera off. Go to red again, please. Go to red again. Can you go to red again?
One more time. Once.
Oh my god! Yes. 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 Oh my.
I'm gonna go.
They're not gonna. I can feel the energy. It's gone. It's depleted. It's gone.
By morning, the camp, river, and woods looked the same, but the feeling from the night still lingered. The experience reminded them that some places keep their secrets. In Bersham, nothing clearly revealed itself. It only felt like the forest was holding on to its past. Some believe the events were just natural sounds and heightened nerves, while others think the land carries something unresolved. Sam runs the YouTube channel, The Northwest Wind, where he usually shares videos about solo camping and quiet backcountry trips. But one unexpected visit to a remote area along the Allegheny River turned into something he wouldn't forget. In early November, he went alone to check out a 2-acre property he had been watching for about 15 years. Since the land was about to be sold, he decided to spend the night there to see if it felt right.
First few days of November, it's like 42 degrees and sprinkling on and off today. We're here on the banks of the Allegheny River, and I have to decide if I want to buy this property or not. They have accepted my offer. Well, not formally, but they said they would accept it if I want to move forward. So don't tell them, but I'm going to camp here tonight and see if this feels like home. So we're going to camp here tonight, and I'm going to decide if this is going to be the land that I've been looking to purchase along the Allegheny River for the last 15 years. That's been my dream, and we're gonna see if I want to make that dream a reality now or wait for something better. That says it all.
He set up camp and started filming his thoughts about the place. The river looked beautiful, but the space felt a bit cramped, and there was also a strange feeling he couldn't quite explain.
Tonight we're having jalapeno poppers. These are from Aldi, cream cheese jalapeno poppers. I absolutely love these. I will eat the whole box, and tonight I'm gonna eat the whole box. So, well, it was impromptu and unexpected, but I will never complain about eating another delicious meal on the shores of the Allegheny River, and I'm privileged to do so tonight. Even if I'm pretty convinced that I am not gonna buy this land. I'm picky and I haven't found anything that is hitting home.
After dinner, he watched the sun set behind the tree line and then got into his truck to spend the night. He planned to relax, watch a movie, and decide in the morning. But then something changed in the woods.
There's a really up noise coming from the woods right now. It sounds like a woman screaming. It's been dark for a long time now, and it sounds like a woman screaming bloody. Listen, I don't know what the hell that was, but that has me absolutely terrified. I'm not lying.
He was sitting in his truck when he suddenly heard a scream, high and raw, like a woman in pain. It pierced the quiet night and kept going. His body went cold. It didn't sound like any animal. He quickly grabbed his camera, started the engine, and prepared to leave.
All right, we're getting out of here. I'm getting out of here. Don't like the feeling that I have. I don't like that feeling at all, so we're gonna go. We're just getting out of here. Feel very unsafe right now. Very, very unsafe. And I can't just peel out of here. I gotta come down this half mountain road. So if I need to get out here in a pinch, I can't.
The fear hit him instantly. The only way out was a narrow, single-lane road winding through the trees, making him feel trapped, like he had stepped into something dangerous with no quick escape.
I had to switch back to get in here. I'm head in, so I literally can't get out if I need to. I can't see anything. I don't even want to have my window open in case of any Gibraltars out there. Let's get me the here. And we're gonna, I don't know. Nope, not doing it, not doing it. That was a lady screaming. My doors are locked. I'm 100% sure of that. I don't even want to open my doors though. Somebody was walking down here and it sounded like the woman screaming. Somebody was walking just beyond it.
His instincts told him something was seriously wrong. He was sure he had just heard someone in real distress. After driving a short distance up the road, he pulled over and called the police dispatcher.
Yeah, hi. I'm out in... I was out camping and I heard, I believe it was a woman screaming in great distress. It's the first road right there on the right. There's a property for sale. I'm truck camping up there because I'm supposed to let them know tomorrow if I want to buy it. And I all of a sudden heard this blood-curdling scream like 50 times.
2 state police cruisers arrived within minutes, making it clear the situation was serious. The officers followed him back down the dark road, their headlights cutting through the trees. No one said much, but the tension was obvious.
So we're here in there. There's that cabin thing next to the other property next door, so I don't know. They told me to hang out. They're gonna go. I'm gonna leave my truck on, actually. It's fine. I'm just gonna stay here with my light. Never ready to go. They're checking out this cabin and it's making me extremely nervous.
The officers quickly moved toward a cabin on the property with their weapons drawn. Sam stayed in the truck, his hands shaking as he watched them disappear into the darkness. After a few minutes, they came back and said they hadn't found anything at the cabin, but there was another building deeper in the woods they were going to check. They told him he was free to leave.
You want me to wait or what should I do? Okay, well I'm gonna. Okay, well be safe, and I wouldn't feel right if I didn't call, so whether it's nothing or something, be safe, and I just, Thanks, brother, have a good night, be safe. I literally have no words for everything that went down this evening. I'm about halfway home. I just stopped to get gas and kind of decompress for a few minutes. My nerves are absolutely shot. I can't really add anything more to the video than what you saw and everything I described. Those police officers did seem very on guard and suspicious, not only of me, but of the situation over there. And after talking with Jessica, I just was not in the right frame of mind to understand why I felt that way.
He didn't hesitate and left right away. The whole experience had shaken him. He had come there to decide about buying the land he had been thinking about for years, but instead, he ran into something completely unexpected. Whatever made those sounds that night is still out there, and no one knows what it was. This video comes from the YouTuber Sort of Interesting, who went on a bivvy camping trip in September 2025 using stealth camping techniques. The plan was to find a hidden spot in tall grass and set up a low-profile camp away from trails and other people.
Quick bit of context for this camping adventure, as the night really fell apart rapidly and I didn't get everything I wanted filmed before the incident happened. In an attempt to spend more time in the great outdoors, I've got into setting out camping after already having eaten in the evenings, which means I still get family time and I can travel a lot lighter, not having to take any of my fancy camp cooking kit. Brilliantly, this was meant to be my 3rd night in the bivvy bag in just 8 days. I even spent the night in it with my dog recently. Perhaps this regularity made me a bit too complacent, but half inspired by some of Wild Bear's extraordinary stealth camps, I thought I would go and wade through some long grass somewhere and try and set up in a bit of a clearing. Okay, so I am definitely concealed, although that might only count if I'm about 2 feet from the ground at most. So I'm just going to have a quick scout around this area for somewhere that's a little clearer to put maybe my basic ground sheet poncho down. But this is already quite amusing and humorous an activity to try and do. Wish me luck. Okay, so with the sound of crows in the background and endless chainsawing across the valley, I'll just show you what I've got. So, this is slightly haunting already. So, because I've travelled so lightly and simply, I've been able to fetch my very small camping stool. But ironically, I've got such poor cover from the wider world here that even this tiny little stool might actually be too high for me to sit on. Obviously water, oh yeah, we've got toiletries, odds and ends, and snacks in the top of my bag. Alpkit Elan bivvy bag. Simple basic sleeping bag. And what I was hoping to do was to use my pegs to peg down my poncho tarp as a ground sheet. But as you can see right now, I think I might just have to fold this over and use it as a little bit of a footprint to put my bivvy bag on amongst the ferns here if I'm going to have any sort of cover at all.
The location had poor ground cover, which made it difficult to stay properly hidden. The area was also busier than expected, with dog walkers passing by, chainsaw sounds from across the valley, and other activity that forced him to stay extremely quiet and low profile.
So here's the plan. I'm going to leave my sleeping bag here, just so there's more space and less weight in my backpack as I walk around. I'm going to lay this out, but as a really thin rectangle, as a base for my bivvy to go on, and then I'm going to clear off and come back just as it starts to get a little bit darker. I'll be 100% transparent with you now, even though it might spoil the idea of just spending a basic, rustic, simple night out in the bivvy bag. That at this point in the evening I was quite disappointed because I'd fetched my little camping stool out that I'd hoped to sit on in front of the camera and just record loads of extra videos to the camera and bonus content and member exclusive stuff, all that sort of stuff. And of course, because the grass cover was so low and I had to be so quiet, I just got absolutely zero of my planned filming done. Typically, once I thought the coast was clear, I made a run for it through the long grass and came practically face to face with a dog walker. Well, couldn't have timed that worse. Well, my friends, so much for packing light so I could fetch the seat. Setting out later in the evenings and having already eaten does mean that on these recent bivvy trips I have missed the experience of gathering around the stove and the campsite and watching the pot come to a boil and so on. But I do also love the sheer simplicity and ease of only having a couple of poles to set up my bivvy bag, and that being the only kind of kit setup that there is, and of course no cleaning or washing or anything like that. So here's a super quick look at my setup with the light. Right, that's enough light. Okay, this is probably the world's worst camera angle, but I've got to say, it feels nice to be in the bivvy bag. It's really warm in here still at the moment, so I'll open up a little bit more of my ventilation. But it's just so low to the ground, I suddenly feel like I'm invisible again, and I absolutely love this. As many of you know if you've watched my other videos, just so cozy, and suddenly just something as simple and low profile as this, you feel like you're inside a lot more than when you're lying on top of it.
Once night falls, the situation can start to feel unsettling when strange lights or sounds suggest something is moving around in the area. The same isolation that makes wild camping appealing can quickly feel like a vulnerability when something unknown might be nearby.
Might be going absolutely mad here. I swear there's been like a firefly. I'm gonna shut up. I can hear... I think I can hear footsteps. I can't...
freezer for the sake of it. But it's certainly woken me up a little bit. But to be honest, it's been quiet for about 10 minutes now, so I'm not too worried.
There's a dog in here!
Solo bivvy camping in easily accessible countryside areas comes with different risks compared to remote wilderness trips. It's a reminder that places that seem peaceful during the day don't always feel the same once night falls. Sophie, the creator of the channel Outdoor Girl. Sophie decided to camp in a small forest not far from home, close enough to catch a train the next day, but still quiet and isolated. From the beginning, the conditions weren't great. Rain fell most of the afternoon, soaking her legs from the knees down, but she kept moving deeper into the woods.
Hi, I'm Sophie. Today I'm on a solo camping trip in a forest in Denmark. It's raining a lot. Hopefully it clears up before I have to set up my tent. I hope you will join my adventure. So today it's actually a weekday, which means that I have to go to work tomorrow early in the morning. So today I'm at a forest area close to my home, which means that it's a quite small area and a lot of people here in the summertime. But with this rain, I'm hoping that I will have it a bit more to myself. I can already see now that this forest is very open.
When the rain slowed, Sophie started looking for a place to camp. Wild camping is allowed in some Danish forests, but this one felt a bit exposed. As she walked, she kept noticing signs that people had been there recently. Bike trails, footpaths, and cars passing on nearby roads. At one point, she found a half-built shelter made from leaning logs. It looked like a child's fort, but alone in the forest, it felt more unsettling than playful. Eventually, she came across a small clearing hidden by trees. It seemed private at first, but after looking around, she noticed a makeshift fire pit nearby, another sign that someone had been there not long ago.
Just walked like 10 meters from where I put down my bag, and there is this open spot where it looks as if someone has made like a fireplace up here. So I'm not the only one trying to escape all the people. This is a very nice spot. So I'm gonna get my bag from right over here, and then I'm gonna stay here. It's so heavy. Oh my god. Look at this giant tree that has fallen. It's so big.
For a while, the trip went as planned. She made herself a simple meal and ate. Then the mood changed. As she finished, loud music started echoing through the forest, suggesting a nearby gathering. Soon after, 5 men on bicycles rode past her campsite, shouting and laughing as they followed the trail. They didn't stop or speak to her, but the moment left an uneasy feeling.
Just need to find a suitable stick for my new table. Should be possible. Maybe it has to be a little bit thicker than this one. Yeah, just when I thought I was alone, there are 5 guys driving through on their bikes, screaming and giving me a big shock. Yeah, I'm gonna stay here and cook dinner and maybe camp. I don't know. We'll see.
Being alone while unfamiliar groups moved around the same forest created a different kind of fear. Sophie felt it right away. The thought of hiding in her tent while people she didn't know were nearby made her uneasy. She tried to brush it off, but the feeling didn't go away. In the end, she packed up her gear and decided to leave, heading back to the train station and going home. The trip wasn't exactly a failure, but it wasn't a success either.
So, now should be the time where I put up the tent and get ready for the night. I don't know. I don't think I feel like staying here for the night. Like, you can hear loud music in the distance. And I can hear cars very close by. Oh, no, there is a guy biking right here. Yeah. I think I need to pack up and then just go home in my bed.
On the way home, Sophie thought about the whole experience. She explained that she didn't think anyone was trying to hurt her and knew most people probably meant no harm. But when you're alone in a tent in the dark with nothing but your thoughts, even normal situations can start to feel unsettling. The danger might not be real, but the fear still is. What do you think about this situation? This clip comes from the YouTube channel Exploration Unknown, run by an investigator named John, who explores abandoned places connected to dark history. In a video uploaded on May 4th, 2022, John and another investigator visit Fort Anderson in Rocky Top, Tennessee, a remote site tied to the Coal Creek Wars of the late 1800s. What starts as a simple historical exploration soon feels different as the silence around the fort becomes unsettling. As night approaches, the area grows strangely quiet, then restless, with unexplained sounds moving through the trees and old trenches with no clear source.
When some of the militia was harassing some of the town's women, he stood up for them and he wound up being hanged at a nearby bridge, which we do plan on investigating in the near future and checking that out. But we've been having some experiences here already and I'm excited to get it going. If you look, can't see down in there too well. There's a little ball in there. I mean, it's crazy. If you look on the side, 1853. It's an authentic cannon. Josh was just getting some shots down there where I got some earlier. We heard weird sound. Hello?
As the night grows darker, both investigators start hearing repeated movement nearby that doesn't sound like typical wildlife.
I just saw a little light over in the woods there.
Blue one? I saw it right when I was turning around.
That was weird.
Was it like a little blue light?
Yeah, it was just like right over there in that trench. As you was just talking about that, the REM pod. So we got the REM pod right there. Oh, look there, it went off. Yeah, I had the whole thing in frame too. You could tell.
Really?
You could tell I wouldn't touch it. I'd love it if you'd touch it one more time for me. Thank you.
Was that you that we just saw in the trench? Are you showing up as a blue light? It sounds like it's still walking.
Yeah.
Brief lights appear in the woods and quickly disappear while their equipment reacts at moments that feel oddly timed. Near a trench linked to a past death, the tension in the area suddenly grows stronger.
Hey guys, in this actual area right here, approximately, give or take a few feet where that tree is where a prisoner was actually killed.
I'm hearing something stirring up.
Yeah, I'm starting to hear some stirring too.
Am I in danger of being
posing for the picture? Up.
We would have fallen right here.
Oh no, it was an accident, allegedly.
If this is where you fell, can you touch the green light that's on that meter? That little black box?
Yeah, Kayla. That was right there. It's just bizarre. It's like you would swear someone's walking up on you every time.
I wonder if it's like trying to save me, trying to get me out of here.
Dude, something just moved behind that tree.
Really?
I saw it with my own eyes. I don't know if I caught it on camera, but it looked like somebody was peeking out of this tree right here and leaned back in. Hello?
Thomas, is that you?
That was freaking nuts, dude.
Whoa. Dude, what the hell was that? I could see all the branches moving.
Dude, something just took off from there. Received.
Yep.
Yep, message received for sure.
Hell out of here.
Golly, dude, that was so loud. It almost sounded like something was either thrown or something big just took off.
Something large moves behind the trees, causing branches to shake violently. As they look deeper into the area, they notice bark torn from trees, broken limbs that don't seem natural, and a strong, foul smell in the air.
Let's head in that direction to that pathway.
Yeah, I want to go down that path for sure. Let's head that way. We're actually going to go down this trail and see what happens. We keep hearing, and I don't know that we've caught it on camera any night, but we've heard this like moaning sound come from back here. And I can't think of an animal that sounds like that. So I've been back this way once. I just heard it again.
I did too. I almost heard what sounded like a bottle clink as well. Isn't that bizarre?
It is bizarre, actually. Get a closer look at that.
Looks like it's been broke off.
Yeah, look at that. Turn my light down so you can actually see it. Yeah, something's like...
It doesn't look natural.
No, it looks like chewed on.
Yep. Hello?
There goes again. Okay. I gotta go see if there's anything down here. I hope not. The trench goes this way.
Dude, don't they
What?
say like spots of leopard or a sign of
Yeah.
evil? Look at all the trees around here. Like,
Oh.
all the bark is coming off, and that one to the right of you.
It don't feel right down here either.
Yeah, I'm not just talking about the moss. It's like look to your right. There's chunks missing all out of it.
Yeah, something's wrong here.
Oh, it hits you like right here.
It hits you. I say, yes, one. Oh, God. Is there an animal or a bug on me?
No.
Oh, I feel like something just bit the hell out of my arm.
Really?
God dang it, that hurt.
Nothing there.
Oh.
You all
Dude,
right
my
there?
arm's tingling. That hurt. That felt like a snake or something. Like it.
You think you got scratched? Yeah, it looks like there's a scratch forming.
Really? We'll check back on it in a little bit.
You're not allowed to touch us.
Dude, that was piercing.
I was looking right at you. There was nothing on you.
My arm is almost numb from it. And it's my right arm, guys, not my left. I'm not having a heart attack.
A sudden, sharp sound echoes nearby, close enough to feel deliberate. They interpret it as gunfire, and with no voices or anyone in sight, the message seems clear, so they leave right away.
I do smell that, man. That does not smell good.
Dude, let's start working our way back up. I don't know what that is, but it ain't good.
It is not good.
Oh, what the hell was that? Go.
That sounded like... Yeah, keep going. Oh.
Alright. You're not hit, right?
No, I don't think. Somebody's messing with us over there. I don't know, somebody...
That was directed at us. Dude, it smelled like a body.
It did. That's why I started leaving. Let's get out of here, man.
I didn't catch it until the breeze was my way, you know?
Oh, God. We might want to let somebody know about that. Oh, something down there. There's something down there. I hope. Oh.
Later, they said it felt less like a coincidence and more like a warning. What made the situation frightening wasn't anything paranormal, but how quickly it seemed to turn into real danger. It leaves the question, was it a warning from someone nearby, or fear amplified by the isolation? Carrie Outdoors is a channel focused on solo wild camping, where Carrie usually emphasizes safety, preparation, and camping in places she already knows well. Her videos often include gear discussions, like her Vango Banshee 10, along with honest thoughts about how even experienced campers can feel uneasy once night falls in the woods. On November 13th, 2025, she returned late in the day to a familiar spot near a stream. It should have felt comfortable, but the fading light quickly turned the forest dark. Just before she finished setting up her tent, an unexpected sound broke the silence.
Well, it is now 7:20, so it's less than an hour. I don't know if my camera picked that up, but that was... I don't know what that was, but that was scary. I think it's a deer or something in the woods. That was quite scary. Yeah, it's literally 7:20 now, and as you can see, it's really dark already. So less than an hour from when I arrived, and I've already lost daylight, so it's pretty dark in the woods. But the tent is up. I'm out in the Banshee tonight. I haven't used this since I got it, so I'm really excited to sleep in this because I love this tent. And I've slept in one before, so yeah, looking forward to spending my first night in that. When I tell you there's some really strange noises going on in the woods tonight, and even though the rational part of your brain is saying, oh, it's the deer, it really does set your anxiety off. Sorry you can't really see me, it's so dark. Obviously I'm relying on the head torch, but I've heard some really, really crazy noises which I've tried to pick up on camera for you guys.
She paused and listened, thinking the sound might be a deer, but the woods wouldn't stay quiet, and strange noises kept echoing from the trees, making her uneasy. Even though she tried to stay rational, being alone in the dark made every sound feel closer and more threatening. A deep, harsh noise kept repeating through the night. By morning, the sound was still there. In daylight, she realized it was likely coming from a nearby farm animal. What had seemed terrifying in the dark turned out to have a simple explanation, and she still completed the solo camp. On September 22nd, 2021, while going through footage from a recent outing, Ben noticed something unusual that he and his team hadn't seen at the time, something that raised a lot of questions.
Did you miss it? Well, don't be too hard on yourself because it all happened pretty fast. So here I am, stood no more than about 5 meters away from this tree break situated in the middle of the shot. But for argument's sake, let's just be extreme and say that I'm about 10 meters away from this tree break. I want you to watch this area right here. I'll play it in normal speed once and then I'll slow it down for you guys so you can get a better look at what I'm talking about. What you will see are 2 red glowing lights, but we'll call them eyes for the sake of understanding. So I've got Mark stood just off to my right shoulder, holding the torch for me while I hold the camera recording the rest of this footage. Chris and Jerry are also off directly to my right, but they're walking down the track away from me and Mark. These 2 red eyes move very, very fast, from left to right, just behind the tree break, without ever making a single sound. We didn't see them, we didn't hear them, even though both me and Mark were shining the torch and filming in that direct area. So my initial thought was that this was probably a fox, or a rabbit, or maybe even a badger. But if you look closely and pay attention at all that tall overgrown brush, if this was a rabbit or a fox or a badger, they would have been completely hidden away by all this tall, overgrown vegetation.
In the footage, Ben is standing just a few meters from a tree in the center of the frame. As the video plays, 2 faint red lights, resembling glowing eyes, quickly move from left to right behind the tree. At the time, neither Ben nor his companion, who was pointing a flashlight in that direction, noticed anything unusual.
Be a deer? Well, if I stop the video here, you can see that the space between the 2 red lights is pretty large, which would suggest to me that this is a relatively large deer. Well then, tell me this. How does a large deer, no more than 5 meters away from me, running through thick brush, remain completely silent and non-visible, even when we're stood there filming in that direction and shining the torches directly in that location? And just to add to that, I ran a quick Google search just to see if I could compare any images of other deers with red eye shine. The only images I found were of deers with green or yellow eye shine, but not red. Again, we never heard anything, we never saw anything, and I've spent most of my life in the outdoors in one way or another. I was in the Cub Scouts, the military, I've wild camped as a hobby for many, many years, and I've seen tons of deer in my time. And one thing that I've learned about deers is that they don't care too much about being stealthy, especially when you're only 5 meters away from them. They always bawl every single time, and it's always a noisy experience. But then things get even more weirder. Agitated and stressed out about not being able to explain these red lights away, I decided to increase the exposure and the shadows.
After adjusting the footage by increasing the exposure and shadows, 2 more shapes became visible deeper in the trees. They looked almost humanoid, standing motionless in the darkness. The glowing eyes, their spacing, and the unnatural stillness didn't match any animal he could recognize.
It's awesome. Now, I do believe in pareidolia, a phenomenon where the mind will often see things that it wants to see, like people seeing faces inside clouds, for example. But this to me was just blatantly obvious. I've used a piece of paper here, as you can see, to overlay the paper on the screen and show you exactly what I see. And I think that once I did this, once I overlay the paper and begin to trace the objects, you can see instantly how much these 2 objects jump off the screen and away from the surrounding background area. Now, I don't want to fully commit just yet by saying that I think I've caught something extraterrestrial, but what I will do is leave you guys to drop down below and tell me exactly what you think. To me, I think this is weird. I've ruled out it being a fox, a badger and a rabbit for the reasons I've already stated. And yeah, there's not too many things that this could be, but for me, it looks like the direction these red lights move across the screen have come from this craft, whatever that thing is.
Some viewers believe it could be a cryptid, while others think it might be something extraterrestrial. Ben didn't make any firm claims, but he was certain of one thing. Whatever it was, it didn't seem like ordinary wildlife. On August 24th, 2022, the YouTube channel Cat Soap uploaded a video that began as a simple nighttime road trip. A group of friends was driving through rural Queensland, looking for a place rumored to be haunted. At first, they were laughing and joking while music played as their headlights lit the dark road, but their curiosity soon got the better of them. After passing a worn "Keep Out" sign, they ignored it and turned onto a narrow dirt path.
This is it?
Is this it here?
Look, it literally looks like someone's driveway. Is that not a number? Like,
Private, keep out.
are you?
I don't know. Is that private, keep out on the right?
I don't know. Let's just do it. No, this feels like that time that Alice and I just fully drove up someone's driveway out in the country because we didn't realize it was a driveway. No, we've done it. We have. We've done it. We have.
How do I turn around?
That's a house up there, ain't it?
It said this is where it needed to turn, though.
This is those are house lights up there. That's a horse paddock fence over there. We are on someone's property. I think we need to go out the front and wait for them and make them be the sacrificial lammies.
Okay.
The mood changed quickly. Ahead in the trees, faint lights flickered, making them realize they might have entered somewhere they weren't supposed to be. Feeling uneasy, they turned around, but the road became tighter and more confusing, and their GPS stopped working. The darkness felt heavier, and the place started to seem more like private land than public space. After meeting up with the rest of their group, they took flashlights and walked into the forest. Soon they found what they had come to see, an old derailed train, rusted and partly buried in the ground. Nearby was a worn sign warning that the area was close to the site of the Camp Mountain Rail tragedy. Just as they were about to leave, faint lights began appearing deeper in the forest, slowly moving between the trees.
I'm just looking at that light.
It's getting brighter.
That light's getting brighter.
And it's moving.
And it's moving.
They stood still, trying to figure out the lights, hoping for a normal explanation, like a vehicle or campers, but the lights didn't move like headlights or lanterns. They drifted strangely through the trees. Their maps showed no buildings or roads nearby, just dense bushland. The lights kept shifting, disappearing, and reappearing closer. Eventually, they decided to leave. Later, people online suggested it could be insects reflecting light or something in the distance, but the group left without any clear answer. Tyler and Jiggy from the YouTube channel Search for Supernatural had explored many haunted places across the United States, but Sorrowwood Grove was different. Known as the most haunted forest in their area, it was where they planned to spend the entire night investigating. They arrived at dusk with their usual paranormal gear, including a REM pod to detect electromagnetic changes and a device meant to capture possible spirit communication. But before they even finished setting up, the REM pod started going off repeatedly, suggesting something might already be nearby. As night fully settled in, the forest grew dark and tense, leaving them surrounded by thick woods in complete darkness.
So, we were just walking trying to find the site that they say is the most haunted. And across the path, somebody just walked across. We saw some feet way up there. And now we can't find our way out. All right, we gotta figure that shit out. All right. So, pretty sure we saw somebody on the trail that we're currently on. We ran and got turned around, and now we don't know exactly where we're going. So what the f is that? Jiggy?
Yeah.
Let's back it up. Back it up. And we need to get back to the campsite. Keep eyes on behind us, Jiggy. What? Alright. Well. What was that? Dude. There's somebody out here, bro. We gotta figure out how to get out of here, seriously. Around.
As they tried to leave, Tyler and Jiggy became completely disoriented. The trail that once seemed simple now felt like a maze, and in the darkness, every path looked the same. Unable to figure out which way led back to their campsite, they decided to end the investigation and leave the forest right away, clearly shaken by the experience.
Alright, so we made it back to the campsite. We got lost on the trail system trying to find the spot where the two people were. The REM pod is going crazy. Now we have the REM pod on a picnic table in the middle of nowhere. While we were walking on the trail, Jiggy, what'd you say?
It looked like feet running across the trail, like, I don't know, 100 yards up in front of me.
Now, the crazy, scary thing is, this is the only...
It keeps going off.
This is the only site to camp on in like 100 acres. And apparently nobody has camped here in years because of all the crazy things that have happened. Dude, talking. Bro. Where's that coming from? Over here. Dude, my flashlight. It just died?
It died. What's going on here?
There is some weird noises out here. What was that? What the hell was that? There it is again. It sounds like there's somebody out here. Oh! Oh! Jiggy! 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 Jiggy!
What the was that?
Who is that?
Hello?
Yo, come out. Come on. Come on. Yo. Yo.
Bro, there's nothing there.
What in the world is going on? Hello? Dude, I saw a person. There goes the REM pod. Dude, I saw a person.
In their recap, Tyler and Jiggy said the locals might have been right. No one seems able to last the whole night at Sorrowwood Grove. Like many others before them, they ended up leaving before dawn. Still, as they drove away, they promised they would return. The real mystery remains. What is actually in those woods? Is it the spirits of past victims, people taking advantage of the forest's dark reputation, or something even harder to explain? Whatever the truth is, Sorrowwood Grove continues to hold its secrets and drive away anyone who tries to stay the night. In September 2025, YouTuber Ray from Gloom's Real Life Encounters went with a friend to explore a remote hiking area they had picked randomly on a map. The spot required a long hike to reach and looked completely isolated from roads or trails, according to their research.
Well, we made it to camp.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't think it was going to take this long, sorry.
Yeah, could have picked a better spot though.
It's a little bit, you know, flatter up there.
Is it?
Yeah.
Could go up there.
Oh.
What?
What was that? Is anyone near us?
Well, I think we're all alone up here though. Thought so. You have to hike in here.
Yeah.
Huh.
All right, hang on. Yeah. That's gonna, we'll probably camp up there. I mean, you know.
Right.
I just wanted to come down here and see how this tree was and everything like that. But we left all of our stuff up there anyways, so.
Right.
Not long after they arrived, strange sounds started coming from the forest, resembling footsteps. The isolation they expected for a quiet camp suddenly felt uncertain as the noises continued from the dark woods around them, making them question whether they were truly alone.
What is that sound? I hear like footsteps.
Footsteps? Wait. I hear running water, but
Yeah.
there's another sound there. Is there like an animal there? It does, it sounds like footsteps.
Sounds like footsteps. That's not creepy.
You don't think there's someone else here, do you?
How would they get here?
I don't know.
Dude, I picked a random spot on a map. I just closed my eyes, put my finger on a map, and said, let's go there.
Yeah, that was a bright idea.
Well, I won't be doing that again. I can tell you that much.
We haven't gone down that hill.
I know.
Oh, wait. Okay, what am I shining my... Right there. It's hard to see because my light doesn't go far enough.
I know.
What is that? That is unusually flat.
Could we camp there?
Oh! That's a road.
Dude, where
I'm not making this up. That is a road.
I can't even see up there. And it looks like it could be a road.
No, that's a road. I can tell.
Could be a road, or it could be a better flat surface than up here to sleep on.
Well, do we go down there and look at it? Well, the thing is, we heard something that sounded like footsteps.
I know.
If someone was down there, they might have been walking that road.
I don't hear it anymore, though.
Wait. Well, I hear something like an airliner up there somewhere. There's an airliner up there somewhere.
Yeah, I can hear that.
But I'm not
hearing the...
I'm not hearing the footsteps.
It could have just been an animal, though.
Yeah, it could have, but like pretty much every animal around here has footprint. When we've heard something shuffling,
yeah,
it sounded like two distinct footsteps. That's what made me really stop. I'm not gonna lie, that's actually kind of creepy. Yeah. Wait a minute, that actually sounds like a car. Oh, it is a car. Okay, my lights are off. I think he saw us. Oh! Okay, go. Get out of here. Go, go. Oh! Don't turn your light on. Okay, that is creepy. Let's just get out of here.
Choosing a random location showed how little control people really have over their surroundings once night falls. The experience suggested that the biggest fear in wilderness camping isn't always the unknown. Sometimes it's realizing the place might not be as empty as you thought. Brendan Explores is a UK YouTuber known for wild camping in his van, cooking simple meals, and visiting quiet, remote locations. His videos usually focus on the peaceful side of van life and hidden scenic spots. But during a stealth camping trip to Lake Vyrnwy in Wales, the calm night changed. After cooking and settling in to sleep, he noticed headlights approaching. A vehicle slowed down and stopped nearby. Soon after, heavy footsteps moved around his van, and someone started knocking on different panels, as if checking inside.
Who was that? They just drove off. Didn't shout anything, didn't ask if anyone's in here, gave a couple knocks, shone the light in, and drove off. I thought someone would come back then, Jesus. What do I do? What do I do?
Brendan stayed completely still and didn't respond, and after a while, the person left without saying anything. But the night wasn't over. Around 3:30 a.m., another vehicle arrived, this time a van. It stayed parked for nearly 15 minutes with its engine running and headlights pointed straight at Brendan's window. No one got out and no sound was made. Brendan remained frozen inside, unsure if moving would make the situation worse. Eventually, the van drove away with less than an hour left before dawn.
Well, that's one hell of a wake up I've ever had one.
He only managed short moments of sleep, his mind replaying the footsteps, the knocking, and the bright lights over and over. What caused the disturbance that night is still unknown. On November 6, 2021, a solo traveler from the Lady Bugout channel parked her van by a quiet lake in Oklahoma. The weather was clear, and the wind moving through the trees created a steady sound she usually found relaxing.
It's gonna be an awesome night. I'm here for a couple nights, heading up north again. It's cooler by the lake here. I'm in Oklahoma, and just wanted to show you guys what I get to enjoy for the next couple days. If I could park right up inside something like this, it's my favorite. I love when pine creates this little bed and no brush, but it's very soft. I'm so grateful for days like this, the wind, the trees, the wind through the trees. Nothing invigorates me more or refreshes me more than to have days like this. So I'm very, very thankful.
Suddenly, a loud siren broke through the night, and it was a tornado warning. Her phone confirmed the alert, and radar showed the storm right above her. Within moments, the calm night turned into a tense and uncertain situation.
There's a tornado warning.
The wind grew stronger, shaking the van. She stayed inside but became more aware of how isolated she was. Nearby, campers and tents started packing up and leaving, which only made the situation more worrying.
So there was a severe thunderstorm warning, tornado warning issued just a minute ago. Not sure what to do in this situation, actually. I thought that somebody would come around. The tent campers hightailed it out of here in the motorcycle. And so I am just going to go to a spot that I'm not so open because I'm very much in the open. So there's little lights that you see in the distance there. That is the bathroom shelter. I was outside of a clearing of trees that was near the water, which was a beautiful place to be, but I literally was the only thing out in this clearing and it did not feel safe. So I wanted to get to a place where I felt a little more sheltered.
She decided to move to a small concrete building she had noticed earlier. From there, she waited out the storm as it passed through. The worst of it didn't last long, but the experience stayed with her. What bothered her most was how quickly the situation changed and how little time she had to prepare.
Warmer air is right at the front, and that was when the sirens went off. I looked at the radar and it was right over us. So I think it was just to alert us that there could be possible tornadoes and to watch for them and to be awake. So this is something that I thought I'd show because I have talked about other situations of preparedness, and weather preparedness is something that I haven't covered, mainly because I try to stay out of weather like this. And I did. I checked the radar and it said that this front wasn't moving in until much later today. It's about 2:30 in the morning right now, and the weather alert was issued at 1 a.m., 12:55 or something like that. Right when the sirens went off, I looked outside and it was very still. I didn't see anything. So that's when I just started scurrying around and packing up. And yeah, I think at the most it took me 3 minutes.
It was a reminder that the biggest dangers on the road aren't always visible ahead of time. In January 2023, Jeff's usual quiet night was broken by a strange sound that even experienced outdoorsmen couldn't easily identify. Around 9:15 p.m., he stepped outside with his dog, as he did every evening. The temperature was around 10 to 15 degrees, and miles of conservation land stretched behind his property. Marshes, rivers, and dense forest that few people could reach. While standing in his backyard, he heard a disturbing call that made him immediately grab his camera.
But of course it stopped as soon as I started. All I can hear right now is dog barking, I think. Pretty sure that's a porcupine. That's not what I heard. I heard something quite different, but that was a porcupine. Way off in the distance is dogs still going crazy. Where I'm pointed the camera, even though it's night, is basically conservation land. There's like a marshy pond river system out there, and all woods for quite a bit. There's some private homes, But really, in a direct straight line, it's probably forest for a good chunk. And again, a lot of it's extremely difficult to get into. Wetland, pond. I've tried so many times to walk down there. It just becomes inaccessible as it gets marshy. You just start to sink into these holes of mud, and you just give up. You can't walk any further because it's just not conducive to it. Oh. There it is again. That's what I heard when I first came out. That is terrifying. That was either like the biggest, sickest coyote, or I have no idea. Wow. Now I've heard coyotes many times out here, all hours, from lone coyotes doing that long, like wolf type call, to like a pack of coyotes yelping with a kill. Owls, fisher cats, foxes. I know that they sound crazy. That is totally different. That was deep. Oh my God. Yeah. Tell me what that is. It's at the 4-minute mark, roughly. 4:55 mark of 4:50 mark of this video. My motion detector light just turned off. And I've heard that howl, moaning howl, twice now. Well, 3 times. The first time I couldn't catch it. And then the last 2. Oh, jeez. I'm out of here. That was probably just the house settling, but that was spooky. Someone's going to have to tell me what that sound was. It's not one I've heard before. Keep getting spooked by, like, I think ice falling off of trees or something. And so it sounds like something walking. The dogs, I don't know if you could hear the dogs still kind of barking crazy nonstop. I know you could definitely, well, I hope, hear the big howl, because that was loud. First one was definitely louder though. And the first one, when I first came out here, before I could even start recording, that was really loud. But I was walking, so it sort of mixed in, and it didn't register with me until the tail end of it, and I'm like, what is that? I'm guessing it's, I don't know, 10, 15 degrees out here. It's just taking the dog out to go to the bathroom. 9:15 p.m., something like that. Typical time for him to go out, come out every night. I hear things so often, owls. I've heard coyotes at all crazy hours of the night, but that was different. That's just a motorcycle or something. The porcupine kind of freaked me out for a second, but I knew right away that was a porcupine. So it's not the porcupine, it's that other sound.
To this day, no one has been able to clearly identify what made those calls. Some believe it might have been a very sick coyote, while others aren't convinced. Whatever it was that cold January night, it sounded unlike anything Jeff had heard in years of living beside miles of remote wilderness, its deep and haunting call echoing through the darkness. The video comes from Paranormal Chambers, a UK paranormal investigation channel that focuses on real-time ghost hunts, historic legends, and eerie locations. The team explores forests, abandoned sites, bunkers, and roads linked to reported paranormal activity, while using equipment like EMF meters, spirit boxes, and cameras to capture unexplained sounds or events. This footage was recorded on October 21st, 2023, at Haunted Woodland in the United Kingdom, including the Roman Road and areas connected to a witch legend.
We're at a location today known to be very haunted woodland.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of activity around here reported, and I'll just show you the woodland behind. That's part of it. We've still got quite a long way to go. Yeah, we've still got quite a long way to go to get into the main part of it. But there's reports when we get a little bit further up and we get to the Roman road, there's reports of Roman soldiers. There's apparently a groundskeeper, I believe.
No, he was a hunter.
Was he a hunter?
Yeah, he was hunting in the woods and they caught him and they hung him for it.
Rob and Sarah walk into the dense woodland and mention a constant feeling of being watched. As they move deeper in, they talk about local stories linked to the area, including sightings of Roman soldiers on the old Roman road, a hunter who was executed in the woods, and the legend of the witch's tree connected to the deaths of 4 sisters in the 1700s. The isolated forest already feels eerie even before their investigation fully begins.
It's destination yet, we don't think, but Rob has just found this.
This is the old Second World War bunker. We're going to take you in there, let you have a little look. Might even get a couple of one out and see what comes up.
Yeah.
So follow us in.
Come on, guys.
Oh, cool. Coming in?
Yeah. Oh,
You've got a really duck.
I'm hooked on a branch.
And here we go.
Oh, this is cool. Look at this, guys. To think this were hidden as well. Good job that Rob saw that.
The investigators come across an old World War II bunker and explore it using EMF meters and spirit communication devices. During the search, they notice small EMF spikes and hear faint sounds, which raises the tension, though no clear apparition is seen.
It's a bit of a weird one, guys. We keep thinking that we've seen someone behind us. Like, not right behind us, but way down there. And then when we turn around, we can't see him. And then we'll look again and it looks like someone's there. And then we turn round and we can't see him. So, I don't know, that's a weird one. I don't know.
While on the Roman road, the team tries to communicate with the alleged spirits of Roman soldiers. During the session, the EMF meter spikes, and the spirit talker gives a message telling them to back off. The response unsettles both investigators and strengthens the feeling that something unseen might be nearby.
Anna, that's
That
quite
is one of the witches.
Yeah. Hi, Anna.
Hello, Anna. Nice to meet you. I'm Rob, and this is Sarah. Are you here with us now?
I need your light as well, it's too dark for me to see. Hi Anna, we're looking for the witch's tree. Do you know how we find it? Are we going in the right direction?
Can you talk to us, Anna?
So I don't know if it's this way maybe. Just have a quick look, I'll be back. No.
Is that Anna that's with us? Or Vicky? Or anybody else? We don't mind who's with us.
We were just literally looking over in the trees and Rob said, oh look how dark it is in there now. And I said, oh shall I keep recording? He says like, oh no, turn it off a bit because I'm trying to save my battery light. I don't have, we don't have much luck with as light.
While searching for the witch's tree, Rob and Sarah receive names like Julia and Anna through their devices, which they think could be linked to the four sisters executed in the 1700s. However, the darkness and confusing forest paths prevent them from finding the tree. As night fully sets in, they carefully head back to the car along the same path. The walk back feels tense, though nothing new happens. The investigation results in a few EMF spikes, unclear voices, and several uneasy moments, but no visual evidence of anything paranormal. With the witch's tree still unfound, the legend remains unresolved, and they decide to return another time during daylight. The creepy video was uploaded by Texas Paranormal, a paranormal investigation channel from the US that explores haunted places around Texas. They look into urban legends and alleged supernatural locations using equipment like EMF meters, spirit boxes, REM pods, cat balls, and other ghost hunting tools. This investigation took place on November 28, 2022 in Athens, Texas. The team started near the old train tracks where the Monkey Bridge used to be. While exploring the area, they spotted some random items left behind, including a teddy bear sitting on a fence, along with signs that other people had visited the location before them. The weather was very cold, with temperatures around 30 to 35 degrees Fahrenheit, making the investigation pretty uncomfortable.
That's a monkey. Did you hear that? Yeah, that's a monkey. What the heck?
Almost right away, they hear rustling coming from the woods nearby. At first, they think it might just be animals moving around, but then one of the sounds briefly resembles a monkey-like call, which instantly makes them think about the local legend of circus monkeys that supposedly escaped in the area.
Yeah, we did get a couple of milligusses on the... Mike, put it to the bear.
Probably just that bear's too close to the antenna.
What is that noise? That has to be some type of bird. There's no way. Because there just wouldn't be random like monkeys here right now. I got a spirit box right here.
After setting their equipment near the tracks, the REM pod starts giving small spikes, even though no one is close to it. They also notice the temperature moving between about 33 and 35 degrees. Since the readings change while everything around them stays still, the team starts wondering if something unseen might be interfering with the equipment.
We're touching our silver antenna on the REM pod for letting us know that you're here. Oh, it did it again. Okay. I kind of don't want to touch the bear. What if it's like haunted?
Is it a bad idea to touch the bear? Could you touch the silver antenna or touch that? Make one of these go off. Meaning it is a bad idea to touch that.
Can you maybe set the cat ball off to let us know?
So it's a bad idea?
Okay, is the bear... Can you step away from the antenna, please? So it's a bad idea to touch the bear, okay? We're not going to touch the bear then, okay?
I won't touch the bear.
Alright, touch the silver antenna on the REM pod.
It's about to be 33 degrees.
If you're attached to the bear. Are you attached to the bear? Touch the REM, like the silver antenna if you're attached to the bear.
The REM pod suddenly activates again without warning. The investigators start asking questions about the teddy bear they found earlier, wondering if it might be connected to the activity. The device reacts slightly when they ask if a spirit could be attached to it, making them suspect the place might not be empty.
Dang, that stayed off for a long time. Okay. Can you please set off one of our cat balls for us? We would appreciate it a lot.
I'm gonna touch this bear if you don't set off a cat ball.
Okay, I'll grab the mail device, you grab the cat balls. I'm gonna keep recording just in case anything happens. Okay guys, we set the cat ball up on the train tracks right here. Aaron's gonna be recording. I'm just gonna do a spirit box session down here. See if we can capture anything right down here by the railroad tracks. Actually face this way, so the cat ball's behind me. So if it does go off, we can see it.
Great idea.
Okay, we went down to the train tracks. Did you follow us down here? Yeah. Yeah, again. Again, are we speaking to one of the circus owners that got monkeys?
As they move closer to the railway tracks, the team sets up a spirit box and several cat balls. One of the cat balls lights up repeatedly, becoming the strongest reaction they record that night. While asking questions through the spirit box, they hear faint responses that sound like short words, including what they think is yes when asking if they are in danger or if the teddy bear is haunted. The repeated activity makes the group uneasy. Before leaving the bridge area, they decide to take the teddy bear with them for further testing, avoiding direct contact and planning to examine it later. The eerie video comes from Exploration Unknown, a US-based paranormal and true crime channel that investigates haunted places, unsolved cases, and strange locations. On April 20th, 2022, John begins an investigation alone in a small wooded area near Cahava Lane in Knoxville, Tennessee. He walks into a dense patch of woods connected to crimes that happened there in the 1990s. While explaining the history of the place, he sets up a digital recorder and a K2 meter, noting that the site is known more for real events than ghost stories.
In the woods, and felt a huge burst of heat. You shall see the dusty looking particles.
While shining his light into the darkness, he suddenly notices what appears to be a pair of reflective eyes staring back at him.
Just got thrown at me. I can't breathe. Oh God, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. Something's not right. Something's not right. That just got thrown at me as I was walking. It hit me in the leg. Oh my God. Sorry guys, I didn't mean to be so shaky. Oh my God, dude. I'm hurting. I don't know, man, I couldn't breathe.
It was loud.
So, it was like what happened earlier, dude. Something come flying and hit something up there right behind me. And on the way out, a rock hit me in the leg and went bouncing.
As he moves deeper into the woods, something small hits the ground near him. A moment later, a rock strikes his leg. He looks around but doesn't see anyone nearby. With pollen in the air making it harder to breathe and the stress of being alone in the woods, he starts to become visibly uneasy.
But it's probably just, I'm out here in the middle of the woods at like 2:30 in the morning. But maybe we caught some on digital recorder, guys. Of course, like I said, you've already seen the highlights if there is. I've been here for quite a while. I've been here for almost 2 hours investigating. Early on, it sounded like some people talking off in the distance. It could have just been somebody walking down the road. I don't know. It was kind of weird sounding, but we definitely can't use that as paranormal evidence. Hopefully digital recorder picked up something. K2 meter stayed quiet the whole night. Never did light up once. But definitely a tragic story, a very sad story. You know, I feel for those women, you know, who are trying, you know, apparently got dealt a bad hand in life and was trying to make ends meet, and definitely not criticizing their profession, just an unfortunate end. That lifestyle can put you in some pretty bad situations with people like him. So,
at the end of the investigation, John says the place feels very different from typical paranormal spots. The tension comes more from the real events that happened there than from ghost stories. Even though the K2 meter doesn't show strong activity, the thrown objects, strange noises, and possible voices on the recorder leave the night feeling unsettling, and he eventually ends the exploration safely. The video is from Burbeck's Beijing Urban Exploration, a channel that explores remote and abandoned sites worldwide with calm, observational narration. On July 9, 2017, in Aokigahara Forest, Japan, the explorer follows a narrow trail deeper into the forest. The terrain quickly becomes challenging, with slippery ground, exposed roots, and hidden holes under the moss. Biodegradable lifeline strings are placed along parts of the path to help guide visitors back, but some of the older strings have degraded, making them unreliable.
People getting in, don't go that way. I've just come from that way. There are 2 more trails. Oh, the trees have got me! Oh, the trees are... So I've had the feeling for a little while that...
Suddenly, a loud rustling comes from the nearby brush, and he stops to scan the area. For a moment, he wonders if someone else is there, but sees nothing. The movement is probably wildlife, yet the sudden noise sharply heightens the tension in the otherwise quiet forest.
Here with me. Something over there, big, just rustled. I thought it was a person, but up there at the end of the path, I thought I saw somebody wearing a blue anorak. But as I moved towards it, it just seemed to disappear.
He reflects that the forest's quiet and isolation can easily distort perception. With no usual sounds or human activity, the mind can exaggerate shadows and shapes, filling in gaps with imagination. Though nothing physical occurs, No voices, figures, or direct contact, the stillness and seclusion of Aokigahara amplify a feeling of vulnerability, making even minor movements or distant shapes seem meaningful. The video is from Steve Hayes Adventures, a UK channel about solo wild camping, fell walking, and lightweight hiking in the Lake District and northern England. On February 6, 2025, in Cumbria, Steve sets up his tent at dusk with a few distant campers about 50 meters away, barely visible in the open landscape. A loud, deep, guttural call suddenly echoes across the fells, sharp and resonant in the cold night air. Steve stops what he's doing, his relaxed expression turning alert, and admits he's never heard anything like it before.
Dogland. I've not heard anything like that before. I know you've got some sheep make some strange, So I've put my meal on. I've put my meal on hold, just for a minute. I don't know if I caught that on camera. If I have, I'll put it on. But I heard something there, and I'm sure it wasn't a dog. Couldn't have been that dog.
The next morning, Steve notes that the call didn't happen again, but admits it unsettled him. In all his previous trips, he's never heard anything like it and considers looking into possible wildlife explanations. Aside from that single unexplained sound, the camp remains quiet. No movement, no other noises, and no visual sightings. Still, that one unfamiliar noise was enough to change the atmosphere, leaving the experience unresolved and a reminder that even familiar hills can feel completely different in the dark. The video comes from Exploring the Unknown, a US-based paranormal channel that investigates forests, abandoned places, and other locations linked to strange activity. On January 28, 2024, the team returns to a remote woodland area they call their 4 a.m. spot, where they previously reported unusual experiences. After setting up their cameras, they begin calling out into the darkness to see if anything responds. For the first minute, everything stays quiet and the forest feels calm before anything unusual happens. As they keep calling out, faint flickering lights appear in the distance through the trees. At the same time, a branch snaps nearby, breaking the quiet and making the team pause. Although nothing is visible, they start to sense movement just outside the reach of their lights. What?
She was looking at me and she's like, there's no sound. It went quiet. It was right as the frog was like, and I was like, well. And I was like, I looked this way. Can't hear anything.
One investigator suddenly says it feels like something is watching them. Even though the camera shows nothing, the group becomes more cautious, carefully scanning the darkness and listening for any sounds, which makes the moment feel even more tense.
It's like... Yeah. So probably we're coming through a busy time. Nothing's really happening, but honestly, this was pretty nice either way. So I agree. I enjoy it.
Whatever we were dealing with that night during the 4 a.m. video was not of the paranormal realm, paranormal spectrum, whatever you want to call it. On one side...
After about 15 to 25 minutes without seeing anything, the team starts discussing what the activity might be. They consider it could be a physical presence rather than paranormal. The lack of clear evidence makes it unsettling, as they can't tell if the noises and lights are environmental, human, or something else. With no answers, they leave the woods, planning to return another night. A group of friends decided to kayak into a cave filled with water at Castle Rock, squeezing through a narrow entrance just above the water's surface. One after another, they climbed out of their kayaks and slipped into the water, forcing their way through the tight, claustrophobic passage. The first man had a hard time pushing forward as the narrow rock walls pressed tightly against him on both sides. His friend stayed close behind, and the two slowly forced their way through extremely tight gaps and near darkness. After what felt like a long, tense crawl through the cramped tunnel, the passage finally opened up and they reached a larger chamber inside the cave. But when one of them got too close to a group of crocodiles, the reptiles quickly became agitated and started snapping in the water.
Oh God, Pete, your paddle's too close to that one. Sorry.
Luckily, the crocodiles eventually moved away without attacking, giving the photographers a chance to leave the area safely. What started as a simple photography project turned into a chilling and unforgettable moment. In 2012, 17-year-old Matthew Hales went to Clevedon Pier early in the morning to photograph the rising tide for his A-level coursework. He was using a long exposure time-lapse setup where each frame captured about 30 seconds. Later, while reviewing the images, he noticed something strange. In one photo, a lone figure was standing on the pier, facing straight toward the camera. The unsettling part was that the pier was closed at the time and wouldn't open for hours. Even more bizarre, the figure wasn't in the frame before or after it. Whatever it was appeared to stand there for roughly half a minute before vanishing. Over the years, local fishermen have reported unusual sightings in the area, which has even earned the eerie nickname, the Ghost Coast. Some people now wonder if the figure in Matthew's photo might be the same mysterious presence others claim to have seen. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can stay updated with our latest videos.